Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? I'm back for another Speed of Light talk with Ronnie Wilson. So, first of all, I want to thank everyone for uh, tuning in and listening to this video. The title for today is "God Give New Life." If you look at if you remember the last video I posted, I was pretty much the topic was based around hope, and this time God gave new life, which in a sense kind of uh, goes hand in hand. So first of all, I want to thank everyone who uh, would tune in and listen to this next video next sermon type thing I have. Uh, so hope you guys enjoy it. And I definitely had a pretty good time going over myself, writing it for writing it down to for when I get ready to give this message. So I'm ready to give it, and I hope you guys are ready to receive whatever that comes close to your heart. So you guys ready? All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. The title today is God gave new life, and it kind of relates to the last video I posted, but revolved around hope. If you look in your Bible at 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17, it says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he or she is a new creation. Old things are passed away, and behold, all things become new." What that means is, be, be, before you came to Christ, or the time you like rededicated your life to Christ, everything that happened before that, he no longer remembers. He no longer remembers, and neither should we. And since he no longer remember that, we that gives us the free reign to walk to move on and to walk away with peace, with peace within yourself and your heart and with others if it perhaps involves others, because you don't want to let others like bring you down or make you miserable or in any type of way. Cause that's where hope from the Lord uh, comes in. Like, and Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 13, one of my favorite scriptures, about it talked about having a future and a hope for your life. No matter what your path looks like, you always have a future and a hope for your life. That was one of my favorite scriptures, and I just love that scripture so much. And when Christ going to the cross for us, he did it for us. He did it out of love for us. I don't know anybody else who would go to the cross and have like nails like beaten through their hand and their feet. That really hurt a lot. I wouldn't have the gut to do that, but he really did that out of love for us because he loved us. He went on the cross and did that for us, so we can have a new life and a brand new hope for what he had for us in our life, individually and as a whole. So that I don't know how many people would be able to. Well, personally myself, I can't even watch that thing when I watch the Passion of the Christ or the Bible series. It's hard for me to even watch that. But at the same time, uh, we we all know why he went on and did that. Because he loved us so much, and he wants us to be blessed, full of life, for the life from oppression and all the negative things that Satan wants us to feel. And so uh, with confessing with your mouth and your word that Jesus is Lord of your life, and believing it, and believing in that, you become a completely new man or woman of God. And with myself personally, I actually have a mission to preach hope to those who felt a lot of pain about how they feel of themselves to others. Cause that's one of the things me myself I kind of struggle with. I always kind of uh, worry about how I would feel to others, and obviously I felt rejected a lot by others I felt really close to, but once again, the title of this video, which is hope. Uh, Christ, when Christ came to earth, he gave us a complete, a whole new set of earth, a set of hope. You know, and Christ, he's not only known as the Son of God, he's also known as the Lamb of God. He's God the Father. Uh, the Son and the Holy Spirit is and three persons at all one person. God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's all one person. And God brought me new life with a unique uh, uh, ministry that I'm in. With the title I used with the Speed of Light, the flashy, catchy name I used I used to help get through things. And now being in the youth ministry for quite some time, since February to be exact, I recently found for myself that the reason why God put me in the youth ministry was to help give uh, others hope for themselves, and and through the Lord, for giving others who hurt you. That's one of the things you just have to do uh, for yourself first to move on. Cause if you hold and if you hold any pain or any negative thing on yourself, you could actually end up hurting yourself more than than you feel like you're hurting others. You actually hurt yourself more. And that's probably what I did. Okay, I held all that painful uh, feeling inside me. This well, right before I left for Charlotte, North Carolina for a month. And actually, just a couple of days before I was scheduled to go out to Charlotte, it was one morning at work. I left after about an hour or so because I had a huge anxiety attack that just came over me, and I would I just could not function right. And after about an hour, I gave in, and I gave in and decided to go on the FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act. With I didn't think with the situation I was going through, I didn't think the FMLA kind of applied to my situation. So had I known more about it than what I do now, I probably would have taken it like 2 months prior than 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 when I originally took it. We were just about a month and a half ago now. So had I known more about it, I would have went on it immediately. But I didn't know too much about it, and at that time I was holding all that pain inside of me, and before I knew it, I was hurting myself more than anything else, and I wasn't looking to him to help me get through it. I was pretty much doing it all on my own. Although I may have felt like I wasn't really doing it on my own, but I was doing it all on my own because God was telling me to do one thing, and I went out and did the complete opposite, and as a result, I ended up hurting myself more than I probably hurted anybody else. So that so 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 for forgiving others, you just have to forgive them, and not hold any grudges or anything against others. Now, I'm not the one who I'm not a person who would want to hold others down for how I felt, but sometimes with your feelings, it can cause so much grief and pain inside you that you could end up hurting yourself more than you can end up hurting others, and shame on me for doing that. I should have let that situation go at that time, a little beforehand, instead of dragging it out and trying to fit through whatever what was going on, because at that time I had no idea what was happening because it came out of the blue. So if God tells you to give something back to him, no, just give it back to him. Because if you don't, if you hold on to that pain just long enough, you can end up hurting yourself, and put yourself in a world of hurt, and that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. And obviously that time in Charlotte really helped me. I actually have been getting some questions from others regarding if I actually move to Charlotte, North Carolina, because some people know that I'm not really close to a lot of people here. I don't have a lot of close family or friends here. And to be honest, moving to Charlotte, North Carolina is in the back of my mind. I could possibly move to Charlotte, North Carolina, one of these days. I'm not rushing it, but there is a big possibility that I will be moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. But although I am not rushing it, but there is a possibility that I could do that. And I want to point this scripture out. Romans chapter 10, verse 9. It says, confess with your words Jesus is Lord, and believe he is the Son of God and was raised from the dead. You will be saved. When he hung on the cross, he took all the suffering upon himself, so we can be free. And so he took all that for everything, every heartbreak I felt during that time, the last the previous several months, few months, and even way back then, when I first started the Speedy Light slogan, back when I graduated in high school, and the the time I was attending college. Um, that slogan, "Speed of Light," would what I use to help cope with what I was going through with the the one big word, rejection. So, and like I said, with Romans chapter 10 verse 9, whatever you're feeling, no, confess with your words, confess with your mouth that Christ Jesus is the Lord, and believe that He was the Son of God and that He was raised from the dead. You will be saved, and your path will be like clear, like white, clean. And when He hung on that cross, He took all that suffering upon Himself. And like I said, everything I felt the previous several months, and even back then, He took all of that upon Himself. So I myself can be free, and including you. And any pain or suffering that you have, don't hold it in. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to end up hurting yourself more than than anything else. So, so just leave it there. Leave it in God's hand, and let Him heal and restore you with whatever it is of the situation that you're going through. And yes, it's painful to let go of some things. You probably never thought that He would tell you to give back, but if He tells you to give something back, like, give it back. Like I said, with the title of this video is hope. He has a hope in the future for you. That anything He tells you to give back, he's gonna replace it with something more. But he's gonna replace it with something even better. It's just a matter of you trusting Him and going on His timing, not your timing, His timing, so He can work on you with whatever He had planned for you, and whoever this other person is that you may have never met before, and that he will work on the other person before bringing you guys together. So, to let that's probably in my mind, that's probably the hardest part, to let something go and to give it back to Him, and then allowing Him to work on you through whatever it is that He had for you, and whatever it is that He wants for you, to make you be or feel that. So He knows that you can be the best person you can be while serving under Him. Because what like I mentioned this and the last video several times. What we want for ourselves may not be what He wants for us. Because what He wants for us is pretty much 100% of the time better than what we want for ourselves. So that's one of the main reasons why we should always look to Him for anything we want in our heart, and He will give you the desires of your heart. But it's just sometimes His desires are for His desire for what He wants for us is better than what we have for ourselves. It could be like similar, but it is that one small little tiny thing, one small little tiny thing that He feels that will be better off for you than whatever it is that you made that you think that you would want, that kind of similar to what He had for you, that it better off with you, other than the thing that you felt that you wanted, and that felt that was bad for you. And Proverbs chapter 4 verse 7, it says, the beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, so it calls all you have. Get understanding. God wants and desires for us is for greater than our own. For what He wants for us is greater than what we want for ourselves. And I and for me personally, I had to I had to go over that several times. Okay, because obviously what he takes away from us, and what he uh, and what we thought that this was given to ourselves personally from him, and then in the blink of an eye is like taken away. And when you think about that, you might get like a little confused and anxieties, and just like I had, just like I had before I went into a complete mental illness. And and then my body mind just completely just shut down. It completely shut down. And obviously when I was away and Charlotte, I was able to regroup myself and be around people I felt really close to, because obviously I feel so close to my brother. We are a few years apart. I believe he's about 7, 8 years older than I am, but it's more like we're only a year apart from each other, because we're that close. But he's actually about 7, 8 years older than I am. And so just remember that. Now, what we want for ourselves, what we want, what he wants for us, as far as what we want for ourselves. What he wants for us is far greater than what we want for ourselves. And that may be something you have to harp on yourself about sometimes, because what we want for ourselves may not be the best, comparing to what God wants for us. And so that's a big. It does seem hurtful at times, but no, just know what God wants for us. He never fails us. He never does. At some time, at some point, it may feel that way. It may feel that way, but what he wants for us is far greater than what we want for ourselves. His plan for us is far greater than what we plan for ourselves. And he created us. He created us, and in our mother's womb, while we weren't even while we didn't even have a face yet. While we didn't even have a face yet, he knew what he was going to do with our lives. He knew who, like, your parents were going to be. He knew who your grandparents were going to be. He knew when your birthday was going to be. He knew who your brothers would be, or sisters would be, if you happen to have one. He knew who your father would be. He knew who your mother would be. And so the what he had for us, what he want for us, is far greater than what we want for ourselves. So we got to remember that. I learned that personally. I learned that personally over the last few months, especially when I was down in Charlotte, North Carolina. And what he wants for us is far bigger than what we want for ourselves. And now I'm gonna close with this. Uh, I was actually shocked just this past weekend. it was it was Saturday. I walked into church. Atomic God Life Church. I figured it had to be around. I want to say 4 o'clock, 4:10, something like that. Uh, when then one of the actually the church had a big event kind of going on. So the lead pastor, Pastor Heather Marble, wasn't in the gym with us. She was out uh, uh, with the event that was going on. She was running one of the stations out there. So when I walked in, one of the other leaders, Jeremy, he came up to me and said that we're going to do something a little different, and he told me that I was going to be the one uh, uh, preaching, so to speak, the lesson for today. So I looked at him like, what? Me? So I'm like, hey, I didn't quite prepare for that. I was prepared for the lesson, but I wasn't quite prepared to do that. So I had to take a deep breath. Okay, here we go. It took me a few minutes to actually to get going, but once I got going, I got thrown into it. No, I really got into it when I started. I got thrown into it that Jeremy had to that brother Jeremy had to actually stop me and say, okay, you gotta wrap this up, one. You gotta wrap this up. We gotta get the kids out there to have a little free time. Like, okay, I'll end here. But I did get pretty much everything I wanted to get through uh, to those young kids, and that was that was actually the first time I had the whole group, the all the kids that were there. That was the first time I had all of them like all eyes on me. So I'm like, oh no. Before I only had about maybe 5, 6, 7. Now I have like 20, 25, all looking at me. So I'm like, oh. But it did turn out to be something that I really look back and like, oh man, that was so cool. I got to be able to do that, and I was asking some questions based off the the lesson we were preaching about for those 2 days, which is basically hope. We're basically with hope with uh, what I'm telling you guys now. And I told them I told them a little brief story of when I went down to Charlotte for those several weeks, and basically no matter what your past is, no matter how like bad you feel or deep down you in a hole you may feel, God got a hope for you. Now, God got a hope for you. He had a big plan and a big future for you. You may not see that, but as long as you just continue to lean on Him and believe what He said about you are true, and believe that in your heart as well as confessing it, no, you'll go down the line and see something really big happen to you, and that didn't come from no one other than God. It didn't come from no one other than God. So I felt really blessed to be able to kind of lead the show that day, and minister to those kids, as well as briefly telling my telling them of my time away, and I kind of wish I could have told them that I was going to be away for a while. That I needed some time for myself to be away. Unfortunately, I didn't have the chance to tell the children that, but I did tell Pastor Heather that I was going to be away in Charlotte, North Carolina for the rest of the month at that time. So I would been gone for a while. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to tell the kids, but once I came back, I felt like I was home again. That everyone came up and gave me a hug and high five and a lot of hey, how you doing? How you feeling? Like I feel good. I feel good. That time away, it really helped me to uh, refocus and to to refocus on what it was God wanted me to do, and 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 it actually gave me a clear vision of why He called me into the ministry, with it to help others see that they have hope from themselves. Well, no matter what your path look like, no matter how many times you've been hurt or how many times you felt really down, that's in the past. Old things are passed away, and you have a big, bright future and a hope for yourself from the man above alone. And that's the big thing with hope. And I know and obviously when I delivered that whole message to those kids. It was pretty much half of it was what the Bible story we talk about for that week, and as well as I kind of mixed it with my own story, because it kind of at the same time it kind of went hand in hand. So when I got that little message from Jeremy telling me that I was gonna lead the whole group, and I was already prepared. I was prepared to do it in a small group setting. I was prepared to do it in a small group setting. But when he told me that he was going that I was going to lead the whole everyone in and that the ministry. So I had to stop myself. I'm like, whoa, I didn't quite prepare for that. So I had to take a few minutes and actually tell myself, okay, it's not gonna be just 5 or 6 people around me. It's gonna be more. It's gonna be like 20, 25 kids looking at me. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do this. So the more I went on, the more I got really I really got into it, and I was asking the kid questions based off the what we were talking about. We were already on the syllabus anyway, so I was going around. With the microphone going around from kid to kid, what they had to say about it, and about the Bible story, with basically with basically it's all about hope, that Christ give, that God gives hope, that was the message. God gives hope. And so I was going around from kid to kid, handing the microphone to them, and they pretty much explained some bad situation were happening in their life, and how they overcame that, and kind of similar to uh, uh, what I felt after all these years of feeling rejected, and and obviously it took me a few years to figure all this out. That I started the Pretty Light slogan. I was still in high school. I was still in high school, so it was 2009, and it nearly 2018 now. So almost like a decade. Almost a decade. I'll be using this Pretty Light slogan, and it's just now I'm figuring out what it actually means to me, and what God wants me to do for Him while I'm in the ministry with the young youth, and and like I said, when I was up there that Saturday evening, preaching that message, delivering that message, I felt so good. Uh, I wish I had a close buddy of mine uh, from work there with me. Uh, he he he, uh, he was actually the first person. His name is Steve Acker. He was actually one of the first persons who actually reached out to me. Going back right before I took off to Charlotte. After that, and that one day at work, I went into a complete emotional, mental breakdown. He would he was actually the first person to actually reach out to me and kind of pull me aside and said, whatever it is you're going through. He had no idea what I was going through at the time, but he sent he something thanks to him that I was a born again Christian, and he came up to me. I was in the cafeteria right before I left. I still had to do something before I took off, and and eventually went on the FMLA. And this was just a couple of days before I took off to Charlotte, and he grabbed me by the shoulder. We had a good I want to say 15-20 minute chat, and we actually had a good chat, and he gave me a number, and I just told, so I kept up in touch. I kept in touch with him the whole time. That whole time I was in Charlotte, and he really helped me to get through this, and that's kind of what I want to do to others. When you see that someone is like completely lost, uh, remind that person that hey, you're not alone in this, and with God, you have hope. The title of the video, the title of this video, whatever happened, whatever happened in your past, it doesn't matter, because in your future, you have hope. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 13 says it all. That He'll give you a future and a hope. Doesn't matter what your path looks like. He'll give you a future and a hope. Now that's pretty much my message for today. Uh, I hope you guys all enjoyed this one. Uh, I, I felt pretty good doing this one. Honestly, it takes me a while to get started sometimes, because I gotta like I'm still kind of new with it, to be honest. I know that it's like my uh, just about fifth or sixth video I did, but I'm still kind of getting used to doing it, because sometimes it still takes me about 10-15 minutes just to get started. And once I get about 10-15 minutes into my message, then I just like to take off, just like an airplane going on the runway and finally going up in the air. So I feel really good right now, and I'm blessed to be able to share with you guys my testimony and my messages of the speed of light, and and like I said, when I delivered that, when I was told that I was going to be the one the delivering the message that last Saturday, I felt. I felt really blessed to be able to be able to do that, uh, to reach out to the kids, and to let them know that no matter what their path look like, man, God got a hope in the future for you. God had a hope in the future, hope, future, hope, future, hope, future, hope, and a future for you. Then that's a big that's a great feeling, that's a blessed fit, and that's a great feeling, and a blessed feeling at the same time. And so that's pretty much my message for today. And I hope you guys have a blessed night, and blessed rest of the week. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. And once again, for those of you on Facebook, feel free to share the video if you want, comment if you want. I'll reply to them. And you can share the video to all your friends. I have no issue with that. Go ahead and share the video if you want. I would like you guys to share the video. I want to get my message of speed of light / hope out to anybody I can possibly reach. Anybody I can possibly reach. So if you guys can hang with me and go on the journey with me, and share these videos and past videos as well as future videos with anybody you can reach, I would greatly appreciate that. I'm from the bottom of my heart. I would greatly appreciate that, and I also appreciate you guys for taking the time and listening to these long videos. So once again, thank you. I'm gonna wrap this up right here. So for Monty Wilson, Speed of Light, God bless. And don't forget, never lose hope. Because in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 13, he said, he will give you a future and a hope. No matter what your past looks like, no matter what you've been through, your future is far brighter than what you've been through in your past. Because he had the hope and the future for you. So for Wani Wilson, Speed of Light, God bless you all. Take care. Till next time, God bless.